All right, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about something I found on Facebook and how Tesla might be overstocked. I think they might have planned for a big sales month. I mean, usually most car manufacturers do. They try and plan for a big end of year quarter four. And there might seem to be a lot of inventory vehicles sitting on dealer lots. And I actually heard this the other day with some Tesla service centers or Tesla sales centers having a bunch of vehicles, but I wanted to see directly. And I was going to go to a Tesla sales center and go take a look for myself to see how many vehicles are sitting on the lots. But then I found this post and it basically confirmed some of those suspicions. So we're going to take a look at this post that I found that has photo evidence. I mean, we'll take it for what it's worth, and we'll see if we believe it or not, but it looks to be pretty credible, and that Tesla is overstocked with vehicles. So what does this mean? Does it mean that there's going to be deals coming soon, or is it something else? So we'll definitely take a look at it. But before we get into that, let's run that intro real quick. All right, so welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla at the best possible price, or just getting really good financing rates on your Tesla. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Calendly link down below in the description, but more on that later. All right, so let's take a look. Let's take a look at this post I found. I'm in a ton of Facebook groups that's like Tesla Model Y. You can see this is a Tesla Model Y Facebook. I'm in like Tesla Model 3, Model S, X, everything, Tesla SoCal. And I actually recommend people to join these groups because you do find good stuff in there here and there. Sometimes it's people selling parts and accessories. Sometimes just people gossiping about the newest thing. But this post I found from Jonas Yu. So shout out to Jonas Yu. And this is what he basically did. So he went out to Tesla Pleasanton, California, which is actually in NorCal. And he's quote, I don't know, but I wondered if Tesla was starting to have maybe struggle releasing their stock. I happened to be shopping for my wife at Pleasanton, California, and ran across 200 plus Teslas with a manufactured build date of December 10th to December 16th sitting in a lot. Weird, right? Maybe they're waiting for delivery, but there are many Ys, 3s, X, and some S here. The interesting part of that is Ys and 3s, we already kind of knew they're overstocked. S, we almost kind of knew that they're overstocked as well. But Model X is also sitting at this lot. I also went by and took a look at it to see if their rear hatch door alignment were improved, and many of them sadly still had misaligned rear trunk and front fenders. I mean, that's kind of thing I usually tell people, the Tesla unfortunately is luxury car pricing, but you're not getting luxury car build quality. So, set that expectation out front. There's always going to be issues. And actually, I usually do say every single Tesla out there has some sort of paint issues and all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. But the good news is now I see all Model 3 LRs and Y long ranges come with the upgraded matrix headlights from the performance line, so that's definitely nice. But PS, a lot of them were Model Ys, and he also kind of ran around and saying, because I had the question out there, are any of these standard range? Because I do have a hunch, I do have an inkling or feeling that a ton of these could be that elusive Model Y standard range that hasn't been released yet, and maybe Tesla is starting to just build up inventory to then release pricing on it, release floodgates on it, release like a 3750 credit on it, because that would be a market leader in that segment if they could get the price down. So let's take a look at some of these pictures, right? So it looks like it's like a parking garage somewhere, but there's just a ton of random Teslas. You can see they're brand new because there's plastic on some of them. They don't even have like hubcaps or wheels on anything like that. Yeah, it looks like Tesla must have just rented out some sort of office park or something to park all these vehicles. Here's a Model X right in front, and then a bunch of Model Ys and Model 3s. There's like actually an S like right there in the back. But yeah, it's definitely like super interesting. Like, wow, this is like a ton of Model S's. And I actually heard that this was like a thing because someone commented, or this guy has been commenting on my videos, that Rancho Cucamonga, another Tesla sales place in like kind of like the not as far as Riverside, but definitely east of LA, also has like the same type of inventory, just like sitting on their lots, like ready to be sold or not sold or waiting for something. And you can see right here, he took a picture of it. This has a manufacturer date of 12/16, which is not that long ago, like only a few days ago. And maybe, I mean, I don't think Tesla would stage these cars here to be shipped out because that doesn't really make sense. Usually they have the big lots in Fremont, but you know, someone definitely correct me if I'm wrong with that. But this would be like a weird place to kind of store vehicles before they got shipped out or loaded onto a carrier to be shipped to wherever. But definitely some interesting stuff. But let me know what you guys' thoughts on like, what do you think is going on with Tesla? I tried to comment. It looks like this thread is getting a ton of comments right here, but let's see if anybody is like commenting any sort of knowledge on this, like but like tons, you know, definitely seems like a ton of vehicles have been sitting out. I still think I want to make a trip to like Rancho or some of the Tesla sales places around me just to see if like this is like a common trend, because it's not good. It's not good if there's a ton of vehicles just sitting and they're getting a lot of backouts, which they might be. I mean, we the other day or last week, we talked about how Troy Tesla, like another Tesla, or actually his tweets right here, another Tesla tweeter, he predicted that Tesla has lost like 95,000 orders from the queue. And so like there could be a lot of US people just like backing out, whether it's because of the tax credit next year, whether it's because of the interest rates exploding and going up really high and people just don't want to pay that rate. Or I mean, it could be a number of things. Gas coming down, maybe the EV equation just doesn't make sense anymore, but a lot of interesting stuff. But here is like photo evidence basically from this thread that there is Tesla is overstocked, at least in the Pleasanton market. I mean, comment below if you're near a Tesla sales place. I've been hearing a lot like about the same thing is happening in the Florida markets, like Merritt Island, Florida, where another Tesla service or sales place is as well. And there's just a bunch of new vehicles just sitting, waiting. And if this is the trend, then I do think something is going to happen, especially by the end of the year, maybe even that last week of the month, like December 25th or that last week of December, because it is the end of the quarter, end of the month. And Tesla needs it, like in terms of the stock price, the sales number needs it. I mean, they've already kind of pulled all the stops out. Essentially, they could go deeper in discounts, but they have the $3,750 discount. They got the 10,000 mile supercharger credit. They have option credit, like if you want to upgrade to paint and take delivery by the end of the year, but not and get a free paint color, they have that out as well. So definitely some interesting stuff kind of going on in the marketplace. But let's jump into some questions. Alexis, maybe Jonas can find a huge lot of used Model 3s for me. Yeah, it's out there. I mean, on the used side, you just got to look at all these used car dealers out there. They all have a ton of them. They're sitting on them, and they're going to start to get pretty antsy pretty soon, especially as December rolls on by and we get into January. They're going to get antsy. I would definitely give all of them your contact information and just tell them like, call me when you're ready to sell it and see what happens. Flipbook Games. I was in Savannah, Georgia, and they had 50 cars on the lot and 24 people receiving them this week. Okay, so that means they had a surplus of like 25 vehicles not sold yet. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, that doesn't sound too bad, but here it looks like there's 200 plus Teslas just sitting. That seems alarming. 25 not sold, that doesn't seem too crazy, but definitely some interesting stuff. But thanks for watching this video. Please hit that like if you enjoyed it. Check out my calendar link down below in the description if you're interested in scheduling a call with me to ask me any questions one-on-one about buying a Tesla, and I'll see you guys in 5 minutes. See ya.